Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys That Magic. This is Hunter,
This is Dave.
and we got some very exciting news today. Weekly MTG gave us some Modern Horizon 2 announcements, and we just want to kind of talk about what's they've shown and what we think is going to come. So, first things first, David, we have some packaging. They showed off the packaging for a split second in the live stream. What do you think about what's going on here?
I mean, it's colorful. It looks pretty. I don't know who the character is. I was goofing around on Reddit, and a lot of people seem to be really excited. I guess this is like an old character, supposedly like an old planeswalker or something, but I don't know too much about the lore. So, I mean, it looks cool, but that's about all I have to say.
Definitely looks cool. Absolutely. I mean, I looked at it too, and they're saying it's a Dakin. I think that's how you say it. Dakan.
I like your pronunciation here.
Dakin Blackblade. That's what people are saying. So, I mean, it definitely does look similar. I think it's the same dude. He's holding a different sword, but I guess it's just updated art.
I mean, it looks like he got the same like shield and stuff going on there, so I can see it.
Got a little unicorn horn going on.
I mean, like, a lot of people were saying it's supposed to be a planeswalker, which would be cool if we got an Esper planeswalker, because the original card was Esper, so I think that would be pretty dope. I think they're probably going to staple something stupid onto it, like this card can be your commander. But I don't know. That's a different topic altogether.
You think they would say this card could be your commander being in a Modern Horizon set?
I just got a feeling.
Interesting. But that guy's on the bundle as well as the draft boosters. So he's probably going to be a pretty big staple in Modern Horizons 2. And then in the set boosters, we had a different little character. Little squirrel guy. What do you have any idea what this is?
Yeah, that's Sir Squeakums. I think that's a squirrel that slayed Emrakul. Him and his 14 minions in the background there.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly how the lore went.
I gotta say, I do like that artwork a lot better. That squirrel definitely looks like he's getting ready to throw down. It reminds me of Rufio from Hook.
Oh yeah, got a little thing around his neck. Rufio. But I will be buying a box of set boosters because I love me my art cards.
Yeah, you're addicted.
I am addicted. And then finally, the last packaging they showed off is the collector boosters. And that has the exact same artwork style as Ikoria.
Yeah, I think
this is pretty interesting.
I think it's interesting. I think it's kind of cool. It's like the comic book style. I have no idea what that is on the cover. It looks like some kind of elk looking thing, but I have no idea.
Yeah, it could be elk. It could be some sort of mutate like thing going on. I have no idea.
I really hope Mutate. I really hope Mutate is not in this set. I wasn't really a big fan of Mutate.
Yeah, it was. It's pretty annoying in standard. Tell you what. But yeah, so that's just the packaging. You want to just jump into some of the cards that they showed off today?
Let's do it.
All right, first things first. Let's talk about Urza Saga, a land saga, enchantment land. As it enters, you get one colorless mana.
I mean, you still have to tap this thing.
I mean, yes, you have to tap it to get a colorless mana. And then the next turn, it gains pay 2 and tap it and create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. And then on the third turn, the final turn, is search your library for an artifact card with mana cost 0 or 1, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. What do we think?
I personally hate this card. I think this is straight garbage. So my logic on that just being is that number one, this thing coming in as a land, I think actually kind of hurts it more than helps it, because that means that after your third turn, this thing is going to go away. It's going to sacrifice itself. So that means that you're down a mana, at least temporarily. I mean, whenever I'm looking at this, okay, it adds one colorless mana to your mana pool on 1. And then on 2, you have to pay mana. You have to invest into this thing for it to actually do anything. So if you're going to be playing this on curve, if you are playing this potentially as your first land, this thing sucks because you're not even going to be able to do its second ability. This is a card that like you're going to be dropping in the mid to late game, and at that point, is it really all that beneficial for you to be paying 2 mana to tap this thing to make a 0/0? I mean, given that I know that the 0/0 can be bigger than that given the number of artifacts that you control, but like if this is a set that's supposed to be targeted for modern is a turn 4 format. This is not gonna do anything by the time that it needs to be doing something. The game is going to be over by the time this does anything at all. And I mean, even at that, all it's going to be doing is tutoring. So it tutors for an artifact. And yeah, I know that there's a lot that you can hit at CMC 0, or I'm sorry, at mana value 0 or mana value 1. But even at that, I feel like there's better alternatives out there that aren't going to eat up a land slot for you. Sorry, I
Yeah.
ranted. What are your thoughts?
That's how I feel too. I mean, I really like the idea of Wizards coming up with more ways to do something with a land. I think making it a saga is a really cool thing, and I hope there's more than just this one card. But I agree. I don't really see the whole benefit of losing a land to playing a land to lose a land eventually.
What One of the things that I will mention about this, though, something that I think is actually really dope, is for the alternate artwork on this. If you notice, the rarity symbol looks like it was drawn in with a crayon, which I think I think is actually really, really dope. So, like, the artwork on this is fantastic, and it's a really creative design, but it's just like what the card actually does. I absolutely hate it. Also, why is this not an artifact land? Whenever it cares about artifacts, why is this an enchantment land?
I think because sagas are enchantments always.
Okay, yeah, you know what? All right, you're right. Still bothers me.
I think it's a cool concept. I'm interested to see what other possible saga lands there are. It excites me for the future. Gives it something fresh. All right, moving on. The next card they showed off was Counterspell. Counterspell is in Modern, and that is pretty exciting.
Is this new information? Was this leaked, or like I feel like we've known about this for a while now.
I don't know, man. I was watching the live stream, and the chat was going nuts when they announced this because a lot of people were excited about putting counterspells in their already blue decks. Also, this announcement also skyrocketed the price of other counterspells.
Maybe this is just something that was like very heavily speculated towards then, because I could have sworn that I heard something about Counterspell coming to Modern.
I mean, it was probably always hinted at or assumed. It is one of the most popular cards in Magic. It's very simple, to the point. 2 blue, counter target spell.
I mean, it'll be cool to see what it does for the Modern format. It's been a long time coming that this thing has honestly kind of needed to be in Modern. I know that a lot of people are like super, super excited to make this thing have an impact, but I actually don't know if I see it. I mean, Counterspell, don't get me wrong, it's a good card.
Yeah.
But I think that there are other options out there that are probably better.
Well, I don't know. I think this might shake up Modern a little bit. Also, let's talk about the borderless version, which they didn't necessarily confirm, but you believe it's going to be only in collector boosters?
I think it's probably going to be a collector booster exclusive. Yeah, they didn't mention where these things are going to be found. Same thing with some other cards we're going to be talking about here in just kind of a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if these are going to be in collector boosters only. I don't think they're going to do like the Magic or the Mystic Archive approach that what they did with Strixhaven, where they're putting it like 1 per pack. I think there's going to be a little bit more exclusive, and I think you can see that too with the rarity upgrade, with the normal version being an uncommon, and then the borderless version coming in as a rare.
Well, as a fan of the artwork of the borderless version, because that's fucking really cool. I don't see me being excited to open that in a rare slot if I'm opening a $20-$30 pack of a pack of cards.
I think you're probably the wrong target audience for it, though. Somebody who is really excited about this being legal in Modern for the first time. I mean, if you have a modern deck, you've already spent several hundred, if not thousands of dollars on this thing. I mean, what's a couple extra bucks to throw in for a prettier version of a counterspell?
That's true. Well, I'm just I'd be pissed to get a uncommon card as a rare in the
Welcome to all
same
the
set.
welcome to all the people who play historic on Magic Arena with all the Mystic Archives being upshifted heavily. Like Brainstorm and Faithful Looting coming in at rares.
Yeah, I
But
can't imagine. All right, moving on. We have a new card, Diamond Lion.
I see what you did here, Wizards.
Diamond Lion is a colorless card for 2 mana. It's a 2/2. You can tap Diamond Lion, discard your hand, sack Diamond Lion, add 3 mana of any one color, activate only as an instant. So
Thing is
what
that
are you playing if you sack your whole hand?
So this thing is adorable. This thing is an homage. It's like the watered down version, and they did this last time with Modern Horizons, the first one, where they're like, well, we're not going to give you quite like Force of Will. We're going to give you Force of Negation, and I think that's honestly a horrible comparison because Force of Negation is still actually a really good card. But this time around, they're like, we're not going to give you Lion's Eye Diamond, but we'll give you Diamond Lion. We're going to give you. It's like the Magus cycle that they come out with, like where it's like Magus of Yawgmoth or Magus of the Wheel and all that crap. So they're going to give you an ability that is really, really powerful and does actually see play in high-powered formats, but they're going to staple it onto a creature. They're going to make it to where it's like, okay, well, this creature is going to probably die. It doesn't have haste, so you can't actually use this thing immediately. It costs 2 mana that you're going to have to invest into this. I mean, it's cute. Another thing to consider for people who maybe haven't paid attention to this is it does say activate only as an instant. So it does have some very real timing constrictions
Yeah, it's
that you do have
pretty
to
weird.
apply to. I don't know. It's a cute card. I don't think this is going to see play.
No, I don't either. And they also showed off the time shifted version of Diamond Lion because time shifted cards are back. It was a big hit in Time Spiral Remastered, so they did bring them back this set.
I mean, I think it's cool that they're doing this with the shifted border. I think that just like any additional kind of style or artwork is pretty neat because it does give collectors something else that they can be going after. And I think that actually just kind of lowers the price in general of most cards within a set, which I'm stoked about that because I would just rather pick up the cheaper version. So works for me.
Yeah, do you remember if they said they're doing the just border foils or are they doing full foils?
Ooh, I don't. I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't watch the stream and just kind of like piece things together from what I read.
Okay.
I would imagine that it's probably going to be like the entire thing is going to be foil if you do get one of these in foil instead of it just being the border. Because isn't that what they did with what is that promo? Lotus Petal. That had kind of like the same treatment. There was I think it was a buy box promo.
Yeah, for what was that? I can't remember what that was. Yeah, I don't know. I guess time will tell, or we just didn't read about it. Yeah, but moving on, the next card they showed was a Brainstone. That is a colorless artifact, costs 1 mana. It says pay 2 and tap it, sack Brainstone, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order.
I hate that they're
Thoughts?
doing this. I absolutely hate that they're doing this. This is the exact same thing with that Diamond Lion from beforehand, where it's like, hey, you know that really, really powerful, like really cool thing that you can do in Legacy or Vintage or Commander or some of these formats where more powerful cards are legal in. It's like, hey, you know, like Brainstorm is a card and it's pretty cool. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and water it down and slow it down. And I know that a lot of people are really excited the fact that Drew Tucker did make this, did paint the artwork on this, but I swear, like this thing looks like a turd to me. Like I hate the artwork on this card. It literally looks like a piece of poop with some corn in it. I hate this card. I hate every single thing about this card. It is not Brainstorm. And I give it the yes, okay, that's cool that like any deck can run this because it doesn't cost a blue. It costs just a colorless mana. But this costs 3 mana in total for you to be able to use this thing, whereas Brainstorm is 1 mana at instant speed. This isn't a good homage to Brainstorm. I don't know.
Artwork is very odd. Like, is this supposed to be eyes, a nose, a mouth, like all the way around?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Looks like some
Drew
like
Tucker.
it's like messed up Christmas ornament.
So not a fan of Brainstone. Yeah, I don't know if I am either. It just seems like a lot to do a little.
Yeah.
Like you can definitely whiff.
I mean,
So
you're
that's
not
the
necessarily
next.
gonna.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't say that you're gonna whiff because I mean, you don't. It's not really possible. I would argue for you to whiff on like a Brainstorm, because I mean, you're going to end up with the better of the 3 cards or whatever given your situation. You're going to end up with the better of the 3 cards. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to tuck whichever the other 2 are. You're going to put them back on the top of the library. So, I mean, there are situations where this kind of effect is really, really powerful. If you are trying to stack your library, if you are trying to make sure that you're drawing into mana to prevent yourself from like getting mana screwed or something like that, or like if your opponent tries to thought seize you, you can always tuck the card, your combo piece or whatever it is, you can put it back on the top of the library so you do dodge those bullets. But coming in here at 3 mana versus the 1, and plus this thing actually has to sit on the board, so everybody's going to know that you have access to this. I think it significantly weakens the overall impact of the card.
Yeah. I mean, most of these that they always share on day 1 are not that good. Whenever they do products, they always show off just random cards. And I don't think this is I think they just showed it because it's Drew Tucker, to be honest.
I mean, it's really cool that they got one of the original artists back, and that's fantastic. I still don't like the artwork on this card.
Yeah, we'll see if he did anything else for this set. All right, the next card is the Buy a Box promo, which was the Sanctum. I can't even read.
Sanctum Prelate.
Sanctum Prelate. Yeah, couldn't read that writing on the
Has, like,
old border. It is a 1 colorless, 2 white mana for a 2/2. It says, as Sanctum Prelate enters the battlefield, choose a number. Non-creature spells with mana value equal to the chosen number can't be cast. What do you think about this Buy a Box promo?
All right, so first off, it's pretty dope. This is a reprint, so this is something that has been around in the past. This is going to be new to Modern. It is a really, really interesting card. For any kind of taxing effect or any kind of like stack space deck, I think this is a really cool effect. Is it going to make an impact at 3 mana? I don't know. I think that this definitely has a lot of potential. Because I mean, if you build your deck around this correctly, it's not going to affect you essentially whatsoever. I think this might be a really strong sideboard option. I don't know about if a whole lot of decks are going to be mainboarding something like this. I don't know if like Death and Taxes, where it's at currently in the meta, or if this is going to like actually like push it into being a serious contender or anything. But I mean, it's really cool. I like the fact that this card exists. I like the fact that this card is going to be introduced into Modern, and I'm curious to see what kind of impact it has.
Yeah, it's it seems, what's that one companion that's running around right now that you can only have mana spells of blank?
You're
This
going to have
card
to
would
help me
be
out.
this card would be insane with that against that.
Are you talking about the one that it's like you can only play? It's like odd. I think it's odd. The red black
Yeah,
companion.
something like that. Yeah, that would be really funny to play against, like sideboard it.
I mean, like any kind of combo deck too, though. If you recognize what you're playing up against, like if you can identify what their combo is, you just throw this down and you name whatever CMC, or I'm sorry, whatever mana value. I got used to saying that. Whatever mana value their combo piece is, given that their combo piece is a non-creature, like they need to deal with this card. This is a major speed bump in their way.
That's true. Well, let's move on to the big thing people are talking about, and that is the enemy Fetchlands are coming to Modern Horizons 2. You got Arid Mesa, Marsh Flats, Misty Rainforest, Scalding Tarn, and Verdant Catacombs. It's been long awaited. Thoughts?
Dude, yeah. I mean, DC play in almost everywhere. Obviously not standard because they're never going to be printed in standard ever again. But like legitimately, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, you name it, these things see play and you need them. Like having an optimal mana base is it's a functional part of your deck. It's not even just like it makes your deck better. It's just like this is a requirement. And it doesn't get better than having Fetchlands because this is whatever land you need it to be. This taps for whatever mana you need this thing to tap for. Given that, yeah, you're going to go fetch, but I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at here is you're going to go grab your shock. You're going to go grab your land that you need that turn. And plus, some of these cards were creeping up in insane amounts of value. So always happy to see Fetchlands get a reprint. I need to go pick up a couple of these too. So this will save me some money.
This will, absolutely. Yeah, I'm very excited. And they also have the borderless versions of the exact same cards, which look gorgeous. And then, of course, the thing that's going to be destroying everybody's wallet is the time-shifted enemy Fetchlands. And everyone thinks that these are going to be in only collector boosters, which would absolutely destroy people's wallets.
So
Because
I'm curious.
I'm sure you would love to get your hands on some of these.
So here is my thing: is that there are two alternate art variants for this, or alternate, I guess, styling variants for this. There's the borderless, and then there's the time shifted frame. Are these both going to exist in a collector booster? Is one going to be more rare than the other, or like how do you think they're going to work this one out?
Well, based on collector boosters in the past, they do have that double slot that are always going to have the full art. So, I mean, you could eventually get a full art one of those and then pull this to the back of the pack of a foil. That would be wild. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to package them. If it's possible to pull two Fetchlands in one pack, I think if they said that is a possibility, then they'll probably sell more product. But we just got to wait on more information at this point.
I mean, these are absolutely gorgeous. I would love to get some of these. Realistically speaking, though, I'm expecting that these things are going to hold an absolutely ludicrous amount of value, or an absolutely ludicrous price point. That's just I'm not going to spend that kind of money on these things. But one of the things that I do want to bring up with this, though, is that whenever we do get collector's editions of cards, so whenever we get to, or whenever we do get like the borderless, or whenever we get time shifted in this example, from what we've seen, it seems to lower the overall cost of some of the low end versions of these cards, just because there's more different versions of them out there. So collectors and players aren't necessarily competing for the same game pieces. And this is something that I am really excited for because I need several of these cards, and I'll take the non-pre version of them. I'll take the normal version of it. So the lower we can drag those price points, the happier I will be.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Just keep reprinting them. Yeah, man. I'm very excited for these. There's a couple of these that I needed for a couple decks, and I couldn't pull the trigger. But I will open a box and hope for the best.
Yeah, and I will not. I'm just going to actually spend probably the same amount of money and get exactly the cards that I want whenever I just buy these directly.
Are you going to buy the time shifted?
No, of course not. I'm going to buy whatever is cheapest, and I highly doubt that the time shift is going to be the cheapest variant. I know you don't like old, but I feel like you're an outlier here.
I like these. I will get these. Ooh. The collector in me wants them.
So I know that you guys don't know this guy here personally. However, he absolutely hates old artwork. It's to the point, honestly, where it's like he gets an old artwork card and he will ship it back. He's essentially the Karen of Magics, and then he has done this. He received like an old art variant of like a Counterspell, which I would be stoked on because that's like, okay, well, I like the older artwork more than I like the newer artwork for the most part. And he shipped back the old art Counterspell so that he could get the I don't know the newest artwork, the
The
one with like
newest
Jace
one.
on the cover. I don't know. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, man. I wanted what I ordered, okay? All right. And you can go and pre-order these now, I believe, at your local game store. I think they're doing pre-orders. And if
So,
you're at your no?
oh no. You probably can. However, there is one more thing that I do want to mention with this, and this is going to be the Fabled Passage that I think is really dope. So starting, and I could be incorrect on this. I think it's on June 18th. If you go down to go support your local game store and you spend $50 or more, they do have a certain number of these foil Fabled Passages with an old border that they can allocate to give out to customers. So if you are going to go spend money on product, if you're going to go pick up some singles, if you are going to go pick up a box or two, or whatever the case may be, whatever it is for you, see if you can go down to your local game store because this is going to be an exclusive specifically to them, which I think is really neat, especially given this last year where the local game stores weren't really able to operate in the same capacity. I know that ours, for example, had completely shut down. You could pick up sealed product from them, but I mean, as soon as you picked it up, you had to be out the door. You weren't allowed to sit down, open it up, play with it, or anything like that. So this is a really cool thing that I think that Wizards is doing to kind of encourage people to come back to the LGS, to spend money at the LGS and stay away from those big box stores. Stay away from Walmart, Target, Amazon, all that other crap.
Yeah, when in doubt, whenever you can, always support your local game store.
Plus, you know these things are going to be worth money. Fabled Passage is a good card. This thing comes in foil. It is going to be time shifted artwork. You know this is going to carry a price tag, and all you have to do is spend $50, which you're probably going to do anyways. Let's face it. If you play Magic, you've spent more than that.
With a couple packs of Modern Horizons, I'm sure you'll get there in like 3 packs. Maybe 2 if you're buying just the collector boosters.
God, I hope not. The Modern Horizons one was like what, $7 a pack or something like that. I'm hoping it's around the same price point. I know that we got a little bit of information today based off of like the Japanese box that went live on Amazon, and it doesn't look like it's the same price, the same pricing. But I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed on this because I would really love for these to be the same price as the first Modern Horizons.
Yeah, so would I. So that is the news we got out of Modern Horizons today. Modern Horizons 2 today, sorry. We will be making new videos when more information comes to us. So please subscribe to the channel. Comment down below if you want to see different things and improvements, anything like that. Otherwise, I think that's it.
Yep.
I think we're good to go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe. Until next time. Later.